Hey guys, Super Gadget Guy here. This is a new computer case I bought. As you can see, this is made by Fractal Design, Define XLR2. This is a full tower case that can take the eATX motherboard or extra large ATX motherboard. It's open because the place I went to purchase this case, they're sold out, and they give me $10 off for the display model. I'm like, I'll take it. And inside I also bought some extra fans, the 140mm fans, the Quiet Corsair. I didn't get one, but I got two. This case is not going to be used for a desktop build because I wanted a smaller case for my desktop. This is going to be part of the server build. So let me take this case out before I talk about why I'm doing the server build right now. It's a pretty big case. It's not that heavy, it's just massive. Okay. Whew. So here's the case. Ow. Yes. I got shocked really bad. Good thing I'm not doing the motherboard unboxing right now. Fry the whole thing. This is why you want to wear a proper attire to do a computer build, not a wool sweater on a carpet. But here it is. It's a pretty massive case. So the depth is about 22 inches, and the height is about 22 inches, and the width about 9.5 inches. So it's a pretty massive case. The reason I'm doing this build is that at the end of my last job, I was given a blade server with 4 blades like so. These are super micro blade servers. It doesn't come fully loaded, which is one of my very surprises. Like, I wonder why they didn't load this. So basically, they gave me a chassis with 4 blades like this. Each blade has, I took out the memory, has 6 gig of RAM with the Intel Xeon 5620 processor. So in testing it out, I'm like, why don't I put it together since there's another slot? So each blade can have 2 processors in it. So I basically consolidated all the memory down to a single blade with 2 processors. Each processor gets 12 gig of RAM. So inside the chassis, 1 blade have 2 processors and 24 gig of RAM. Fantastic. The other 3 blades, I just don't turn it on. I thought, that cannot use that much power, which it doesn't. But the blade chassis comes with 2 1400 watt redundant power supply. You have to plug both of them in. Sure, the second one is not using any power, but if you don't plug it in, the alarm noise is driving me nuts. So I yank out the power supply, using it with just 1 blade turning on, 1 power supply. Fantastic. Idle consume 175 watts of power. Under full load does 300 watts. All great, except the noise. It's bugged the crap out of me. It's so loud in the closet. I just couldn't do anything. It's just like, therefore, I am done. I am going to take the processor out of all 4 and basically use 2 processor into a server board and use 2 as a backup, just in case processor doesn't really get fried. So I'm going to yank it out and just recycle everything. The board I picked, I got the fan too, because the fan that's on the processor right now is a low profile fan that basically uses the blade chassis to pushes the air through the low profile heatsink right here. Demonstrate. So this will be the front of the chassis. There's a lot more going on here. The chassis weighs like 50 pounds. So essentially the this sits inside the chassis, and this part is all sealed, and this will be the front of the chassis, and there will be fans in front of it, and that will push this air all the way through, come out the back. So it's a low profile heatsink. Works great in the server environment. As you can see, it's very clean. But home environment, pet hair, probably not going to be as clean. Therefore, it's going to do something a little bit different. So one of the first things that I did was purchase heatsink and fan. Even though this one does not say the socket 1366, online at least, both its website and Newegg website say it is supported. It's all copper construction. I'll do a separate unboxing and review of this. I bought 2 of them for processors, and the reason I picked this is that the rating on Newegg is extremely high. It's basically 2,300 people all give it average 5 stars. And it's light, it's only 530 grams. I don't want a massive 2 of them that's going to rip the motherboard apart. So they're identical. The motherboard, so essentially I'm consolidating the blades into the server right here. It's a Supermicro motherboard. The model number is MBD-X8DT I-F-O. So of course it comes with standard motherboard accessory. First you have a USB plug to work with the header. The 2 USB port in the back. Serial. So use serial nowadays. And then bolt little SATA cable. Floppy cable. I/O shield. Let's see. It's a server board, so it's pretty massive. And checklist by Ed P at Supermicro. Thank you for packing this. And it's in the anti-static. No CD or anything. I hope everything's online. As you can see, this is a pretty big board compared to the standard desktop motherboard. But port-wise, it's actually pretty lacking. You have 3 Ethernet ports. There's a pair right here. And there's one right here. 1 VGA, 1 serial, 2 USB, and PS2. 2 of them. It's pretty insane. This is $349, but it does have a 5-year warranty. I don't planning on keeping this past 5 years. And it has a PCI Express, 216 lane, 2 PCI, and then 1, 2, 4X PCI Express 4X lanes. And then of course you have headers for 2 more USB port. Then you have 6 SATA connections right here, and then you have a floppy connection. And the most important part, you have 2 1366 CPU sockets, and each processor has 6 memory slots. So that's 12 gigs. Plenty for what I wanted to do. What's special about this, I did not find the right power supply because I didn't want to pay for it, is the power supply with 2 UPS 8-pin power connector in addition to the 24-pin. So let me show you the power supply I got with this. For the power supply, I picked the Capstone 450 watt 80 plus gold. This is a 5-year warranty. Oh, maybe the motherboard only has 3-year warranty. Anyways, I'm confusing the warranty terms. Brand new, 450 watt. Like I say, the system inside the blade chassis only consumes 300 watt. So 450 should be more than enough to cover it. And it's 80 plus gold. Since it's going to be a server, it's going to be on 24/7, and it's not in a data center, it's inside my house. It burns electricity. I don't want it to cause an issue with my wife. So, yeah, more than enough. It provides 444 watts, just 12 volt by itself. So it's plenty of power. If not, I might just up it a little bit. let's look at the case. So this is where everything is going to go. The two 140 millimeter. Took me a while to do research on this case. So this case has a lot of fan input, and most of the fan mount is either a 140 millimeter or 120 millimeter. You can do the offset, you can do both. So I'll just show you how massive this case is. First of all, the sound dampening foam on the side, and you can swap this. This is the side panel. Of course, it's the side panel. This is the, if you look at the case head on, this is the left side panel. So this is where the motherboard goes. So you can see the hard drive tray. I would probably only use 5 of these, which is kind of suck because they're in a 4+4 configuration. I might just use the 4. I'm going to show you how I'm going to use that. 140 millimeter fan, power supply mount, and removable fan dust filter. Much improved comparing to my Silverstone, which you have to get inside and basically remove everything in order to have access to the dust filter. This one, you can remove dust filter without opening anything. And on the back, you have 1, 2, 3. I don't know what I'm talking about again. Okay, on the back, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 I/O card slot or expansion card slot. I/O goes here, and on top, you can use either the 140 millimeter fan or the 120 millimeter fan. So they include 2 fans, one up front and one on the bottom, which I'm fully intend on using, and one on the back too. So the 2 140 millimeter fan that I bought will basically go on top, act as exhaust to push air out, and it has a very foam in place right now. I'm definitely gonna see if I'm gonna make this quiet is the #1 concern. So the hard drive arrangement is that Ubuntu 13.10 is going to be installed on this, and this is the Fractal design kit. Let's see what's in here. Cable tie 6 pieces, thumb screw 16 pieces for optical drives, PSU screws 4 pieces, motherboard standoff 11 pieces, rubber spacer 12 pieces, motherboard screw 11 pieces, SSD screw 32 pieces, anti-vibration hard drive screw 32 pieces. So that means another improvement over my Silverstone is that these brackets or carriage works with both a 3.5 inch and 2.5 inch devices. As you can see, you can adjust the spacers so that you can mount however you want into it. I might keep both, but I might just remove one for added airflow. The motherboard should fit in this. I hope it does. It's that this case can fit the EATX motherboard, or in that case, it's a 12 by 13 inch motherboard. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to design the layout of this case, why I choose this case. Let's open up the other side too. Yeah, the side panels are extremely heavy. Most of the weight is in the side panel. The case itself is actually fairly light. Dust filters in the back, removable. And to figure out how I'm going to orientate the case. So of course, in a dual processor, dual socket design, the massive CPU bracket opening wouldn't work in this case because it is in the way. It's okay for one of them, but the second processor is right here, so it's going to be in the way. So normal situation, totally fine. So the hard drive case is removable. I only need space for 5 hard drives. An SSD I removed from my desktop. I put the 500 gig Samsung Evo SSD into my current desktop, and the taking out the old SSD 320. This is an Intel SSD 120 gigabyte. This will have the Ubuntu 13.10 installed, and the running virtualized. I'm gonna have a two 1 terabyte doing mirroring, has the gas operating system installed. Then I'm gonna have two 1 terabyte Western Digital green drives in RAID 0, doing all the files and whatnot, basically temporary storage before the final file gets uploaded into the NAS. So let's look at the front of the case. So you have the power button, reset, headphone, microphone jack, and then USB 3.0, USB 2.0. And here's the door. Oh, it's missing. Oh, crap. Oh, no, it's in here. Okay, good. Whew. No. Oh no, one of the things is missing. Actually not missing. Good. Because I don't plan on to have any optical drive getting used. And of course, there's another manual in here. Tension. Okay. So, and of course, there's another fan. As you can see, open up the front. So this is the filter. You can vacuum or whatever, and you can see one of the fan is taken and the other one is not. This one I think is removable. I can figure out how to remove it. I think the manual can tell me what's. Yeah. So as you can see, it's removable, and that's the front fan setup. Not the most optimal airflow design, as you can see once the front part is closed. You do have side vent right here to get airflow design to get through, but you know, overall you can see there's a lot of space to work, and there's a lot of rubber sort of grommets, whatever they call it, for cable organization. So it is a very massive case compared to my mid tower right now. It is absolutely massive, but you know, I'm going to get rid of this, rest SSD on top, 4 hard drive goes in, or vice versa. Maybe the hard drive goes on the bottom, and then maybe even rotate a little bit to modify, improve airflow. And then you can see all the cables right here, down here. So I'm very excited about this. I hope everything fits, and there's very little information on them server boards. So I hope everything fits. Not going to be such a big issue when it comes to installation. But you know, we'll see. I'll definitely do a finished build, and hopefully I will spend the time and rewire, reorganize everything. And speaking of this build, is that the power supply, no out of the gate, is not going to work because right on the back, as you can see, it has ATX 12 volt. That's 24 pin. For the motherboard, you have one of them. The EPS 12 volt 8 pin only have one, but the motherboard needs another one. So I bought a splitter white cable. Not here yet. Hopefully it'll be here in time for the build. PCIe 8 pin, 2 of them. No need for this because I'm not even gonna put any. I will put a graphic card in it, but nothing super. I'm not even have it here because I'm getting a free one from my friend. SATA 6. All I need is 5. Molex 4 pin, 5. Okay, great. Floppy 1. Don't need it. So very excited. This is the first time I'm using the Roswell Capstone 450 watt. My first Roswell power supply. I think my current one is Corsair. So, and this also, I have not built a computer in the last 5 years. So hopefully this will give me a little bit of practice before I put the big money towards the new desktop that's coming. Alright. Sorry this is a super long video. Hope you like it. If you have any questions, post in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer them. Please subscribe, and thanks for watching.